Welcome to the program. Now, today we'll be talking about leading in difficult times. There is no doubt that you know that this period has actually been a very huge trying times for most organizations and even individuals. We've been finding things, so to say, a little bit very harsh. The last 6 weeks have been very difficult, so to say, for so many organizations in Nigeria and beyond. Probably maybe in the last 3 months all over the world. But let's focus on the last 6 weeks in Nigeria. It has been very tough for us. And the organizations are finding it very easy. So to say, let's use Nigerian words, finding it very easy to actually cope. Though, thank God for the relaxation of the lockdown in the last 2 weeks. We've been trying to actually cope with so many things around us. Today, we'll be looking at difficult times, leading in difficult times. If we are actually seeing ourselves physically, I would have asked, how have we been coping? But there is no need asking that now because we are in pressure class and we just have to make do with what I actually read out now. It has been very difficult for most of us, as I said earlier. But how do we see ourselves as leaders? How do we see ourselves as managers? Most of us have found it very difficult to actually separate what a leader is and what leadership actually entails. We always enjoy ourselves being called leaders, but the tenets that actually make us to practice what leadership entails most often is always absent in our minds. But this is a period where we just actually have to bring it forth. We have to let people know that we are actually the leaders in which we claim we are. This COVID-19 has affected so many things around us. It has affected the way we manage our organization. It has affected the way we relate with our staff. It has even affected the way we relate with our friends. So most of those things that we do, all those communal livings we are very associated with, now they are no more to be seen lately. So the market is nosediving. And it is not a period, I would say, for us to actually focus on the negativity that comes with this period. It is a period where leaders must actually justify what makes them to qualify as what? As leaders. We should not focus on those negativities, not focus on those things that are not actually working well, not focus on those things that are not making us to actually work from our various services. But let's look at this period as very tough. How are we going to bring out the positive side of those things that are actually difficult for us? Those are the things we'll be looking at this afternoon. So I started by asking, what is actually leadership? We often talk about leaders. We talk about leadership. Do you actually know what it actually entails to be a leader and to actually display the tenet of leadership? We say nearly every day in business world, but have you ever tried to define it? Okay, it is hard, so to say, because the way I will see leadership may be different from the way somebody else may see leadership. I may see leadership from the father's perspective. I may see leadership from somebody that is focusing on emotional intelligence. I may see leadership as somebody that is focusing in providing salaries, providing means of livelihood to somebody. I may see leadership as somebody who is offering the shoulder to somebody in crime so that someone can lean on me and actually get succor for whatever that is actually happening around you. So it is very difficult for us most times to actually have a unified definition for leadership. We divide leadership according to the situation around us. So this is the best time for you to actually look at what actually makes me a leader in my organization. Am I that kind of a leader that my staff will be running to at this period? Or am I that kind of a leader that my staff will be saying, oh, thank God I'm not going to work now, I'll be at home, because I'm not going to see the face of my boss? Are we leaders that are actually saying, oh, these people that I've not seen, let me pick my phone, actually call them, ask them, how are they feeling? Let me give them support, let me give them hope, let me give them signs that this period that we actually are now is just for a little while, and we're definitely going to overcome it. So we have to look at what actually makes us a good leader at this period of time. In history, we've seen so many people that are qualified as leaders. So many people. We've seen people who actually destroy lives, people who are very humane to people. Take, for instance, let's look at Hitler. Hitler can be qualified as a leader, all right? Most of us will actually agree with him that he's a leader. But can we say you want to be the kind of leader Hitler was? No. Definitely, if he's a leader, but the kind of leader we're actually talking about is different from the kind of leader that is actually giving people difficult times. Okay, we are looking at leaders that this period that people can actually lean on, that people will look up to and say, wow, I want to be like this person. So we are looking at leaders who will not just focus on the negativities around us in this season. We are looking at leaders who will not come forward and be shedding tears that things are not working. And this will impact in the way your staff will see your environment. So you must, as a leader, be the driver of act that will actually lead the organization to the right place at this period. So don't mind me now, we have to move very faster because we have about 27 slides to cover and we have about 40 minutes to actually cover the slides. So I now ask you, what kind of leader are you? Okay, we've seen so many definitions of, or so many tenets of leaders. Some people say, oh, I'm an autocratic leader. Some will say, oh, I'm a democratic leader. Some will say, I'm a laissez-faire leader. Oh, I'm a transformational leader. But what actually makes you the best leader the people want to see in you, as I said, is the situation around you. Democratic leader is not outrightly bad. Democratic leader is not outrightly good. Laissez-faire is not outrightly bad. But what qualifies you as a good leader that your people want to be associated with? Okay, we know democratic leaders are always very harsh. Democratic leaders are always very soft. Okay, they always provide situations for people to actually work in an environment that is very peaceful and very conducive. They want to share from the people's sorrow. They want to share from people's success and those things. But the best thing that we can actually looking at is not just for me to come and say I'm an autocratic leader or a democratic leader, but a leader that can combine every tenet of leadership, that people will start seeing in me what they want to see in a leader that will provide solutions to their problems. Okay, I'll ask us again, what, as a leader, do you motivate your people or you're demotivating them? This is the period that you actually need to actually show your people that you are for them, that you are with them. No matter the situation, no matter the conditions that we're actually going through, no matter the fact that, oh, sales are not coming in, salaries will not be earned, this is not the period that we should be throwing out all those negativities into the faces of these our people. But we must come to a situation, a condition whereby we want them to actually see themselves as part and parcel of the organization at this period. And we want them to give their best to be able to do more that will actually move the organization forward. I've listed so many things that actually motivate people and so many things that we do within the organization that demotivate them. As a leader in this season, you must be the #1 creator and #1 innovator of ideas within the organization. Okay, it is not what you should be living for your people to actually be holding on to, actually be doing them. This is not a period for you to be chasing them around, telling them what they are not doing right. This is a period for you as a leader to actually be part and parcel of those ideas that can move the organization forward, that can bring fresh ideas, fresh innovations, fresh creativities into the organization. And at this same period, I know it is very difficult when we talk about salary not being in, because sales are not coming in, funds are not coming in, but you must strive to actually create a friendly environment for your people. How do you create a friendly environment for people? They've been at home for, it depends on the location you find we have recently. Like in Abuja, people have been at home for like 4 weeks until last week when it was led that people started coming to work gradually. But you must create an environment for them to actually see the fact that these environments they are now are what they can actually get the best from the organization. Okay, create an enabling environment for them to work. So show emotional intelligence, which is another thing that we must actually talk about. How do you show emotional intelligence? You must put yourself in the shoes of every of your staff, which are actually working with you at this particular time. Understand where the shoe pinches them. Understand what thing that you can actually give them that will make them happy at this period. Understand that whatever that pains them, pains your organization. So you must look at the situation whereby you create that enabling environment that will make them happy, that will make them feel that, oh, the organization is actually taking about them. And you must be a leader that is worthy of following. Nobody likes a situation whereby I'm following somebody that cannot benefit anything from. I'm very sure you understand when I talk about workplace generations. At this period of time, we have minimum of 3 different generations that we are working with. You must understand what motivates each generation around us. We have the generation Y, we have the generation X, the generation Z are coming. Okay, we must understand that the baby boomers are fading out gradually, but you must focus on what motivates each generation. That is what will make them to follow you. If you have somebody, you have a leader who people cannot benefit much from, who focuses more on being a boss that want to push people around, and not that people want to give, that want to give knowledge to people, the generation X people will run away from you. So you must understand, and these are the people we actually need in our environment this period. The generation X people are the people that actually move the organization. I'm not saying generation Y people are not actually are not very important. They are important because they are the one that will guide the generation X people. But you must understand what motivates each workplace generations. Okay, that will make them to actually say, oh, this is the kind of leader that I actually want to be around. Then you must have a benefit goal for yourself and for the organization. The goal you set last year, at the beginning of every year, you always have to say, oh, New Year, new resolution. We create new resolutions for every year. But I'm very sure nobody envisaged that February, March will be what we experienced. Not to talk about April, which May that we are now. So what kind of goal did you set for the organization by December last year that you achieved this year? So you must look at how you can actually restructure your goals and look at how you can restructure the goals of the organization. Look at how you can restructure the goals of every department, and that will not affect them negatively, so that they will be able to do more and give you more than that can impact positively on the organization. And you must communicate positively. This is not the time that we need to be groaning about, oh, the economy is bad, oh, COVID-19 is killing us, oh, COVID-19 is not making business to move. No, you don't need to whine at this period in time. What you need to do is to communicate that positive. If you have 1,000,001 reasons that the organization is going down, if it's just one reason that the organization is actually moving on, communicate that one reason and make sure your staff or your employees actually understand that 1,000,000 reason that will actually move them forward. Then acknowledge employee achievement. Okay, there is no better time than to do this than now. Okay, no matter the little thing everybody is doing to contribute to the development or to the bottom line of the organization, appreciate it now. Okay, nobody likes the fact that your A staff wants to leave you after this COVID-19. We don't know how long it's going to last, but if you have a very good staff, and the moment this period is when it's taken to actually leave you and go to another organization, then your organization is losing a good staff. So you must look at how you can acknowledge every employee that is achieving something good for your organization now. Then you must encourage friendly competition. Okay, encourage them to come up with various ideas at this particular period that can actually move the organization forward. I'm very sure we'll talk about, which I'm very sure some of us have heard about it in previous programs. The importance of ICT in this period cannot be underestimated. Okay, every organization that is still looking at how they be doing things in the time past and not focusing at how best they can actually use ICT to actually use at all those media forms where they can send messages, create sales and those things, will definitely be an organization that is going into extinction. So this is not the best time for us not to focus on innovation. This is not the best time not to focus on encouraging our employees to actually have competitive discussion among them that will actually help the organization. And you must reward your employees. I know it is very difficult for sales to actually come in now, but what I'm actually saying in the fact that this is not the best time for us in the way to slash salaries. If you are going to slash salaries at this period, let them understand why you are slashing salaries. Give them timeline that, oh, if this thing picks up, then you're definitely going to reverse to the way it was. And the last thing is you have to create a good career path for them. Everybody working in an organization is working with the intention of, oh, one day I can actually be the MD of this organization. Let them have that vision. Let them have the vision of, oh, they can lead this organization. Encourage them. Okay, don't look at the way you can actually run it like a one-man business for now. Let them own this organization. Okay, and we have various ways in which we can actually demotivate these employees. We should stop recognizing individual employee efforts. Okay, I said earlier that you must recognize every effort that is contributing to the bottom line of the organization. Okay, if they don't have job security at this moment, they will leave your organization. And this goes down to the information you're actually communicating with them. Sorry, you're actually communicating with them. Okay, and if you are so insensitive to those things that is not working well around them, they will leave you. And this is not the best time for us to actually lose some of our staff. Okay, and if they don't have confidence in your leadership, that is why it's very important that we have to bring them closer to us. We must be communicating with them in a way that they will understand that, oh, this man is actually somebody we can actually lean on. And don't micromanage. Don't put leash on their neck and be dragging them around. Okay, they are not dogs. Give them freedom. Let them exercise. Let them bring out ideas that actually work for the organization. Even if the idea is not good to you, don't just rubbish it. In every bad idea that somebody is giving, there is something good that you can actually bring out of it. It may mean you calling the person, sit with the person, discuss with the person, and look at how you can bring other people in to come and contribute. Okay, don't police them around. Okay, give them freedom, let them operate. We'll be talking about working from home, which we'll still talk about later. Talking about working from home. How do you manage them? Okay, some may see this as being micromanaging. Okay, but it is not. It is just that if you are monitoring them too much, they will start avoiding you. And by the time they will be using your resources to actually look for a job in order to exit your organization. Okay, then if the job they are doing presently is bringing in boredom, look at how you can actually change it. Move them across the organization. Let them learn new things. Okay, and don't fail to recognize achievements, either individuals or collectively. You must recognize it. And don't encourage, if you don't encourage development and opportunities for growth, it's going to affect the way you manage your organization. Okay, and this is actually very important. If you keep on treating everybody equally without recognizing one person that is doing one right thing in your organization, it's going to affect everybody working for you. Okay, I will see, okay, if I do it afterward, they won't recognize my achievement. Everybody will take the glory. Then I'll fold my hands, I won't do it. I want everybody to come and do it. Okay, but you must look at the situation whereby you will encourage them, you will motivate them, both individually and as a team, to be able to do better for your organization. Then every unpleasant co-workers must be talked to, must be handled in a way that it will not affect the entire organization. There are some disgruntled employees within the organization that even when they see you, they will like your face. You believe, oh, they are the best staff that you can have in your organization. But behind you, they are the people actually giving bad information to these, your good employees. So you must understand how you will manage all these employees within the organization. So where are we presently? COVID-19 has affected so many businesses around us. Travel agencies are shut down, planes are not flying. Restaurants, until recently, okay, people are losing money, people have bought food at home and everything. They had hairdressings, lifestyles, fitness, health, all these organizations have been grossly affected. Okay, so for you that is within this organization, now is the time for you to be thinking out of the box. What are the new things that can actually bring in into the organization that can actually increase sales in this period? Okay, I'm very sure most of us have not been to hairdressing salon for a very long time, maybe like 6 weeks now, okay, because we are scared of actually contacting this COVID-19. But the people managing such organizations must think outside the box. The fitness centers, I know those are areas are actually be affected. Now, you said, even in this period that these organizations are actually affected, some are doing greatly well. Okay, there are so many services that can arbitrage. Okay, they can work from wherever they are. Recently, Nigerian courts started online virtual trial of cases. Probably if you talked about this like 3 years ago, you say, oh, it's not possible because we are Nigeria. We always believe when one thing is going out of fashion in the Western society, that's when we embrace it in Nigeria. But I like the fact that this is actually coming up in Nigeria in 2020 now. Okay, imagine trials online. Physiotherapists are actually doing well. The telemedicine is gradually creeping into our system. Okay, so we must look at how we can actually leverage on these opportunities that would actually increase the sales within our organizations. Okay, kudos to some schools who have seriously engaged their teachers, their tutors in this season. They did not allow the students to feel the fact that they are not in school. The Zoom class, the Zoom platform, the Google class, the various online platforms have been engaged to actually keep the students moving. So imagine a school, you as a school administrator, that has not really embraced the ICT, all these online platforms, to actually help your students to learn further. Now, this is something you have to rethink. where am I getting it wrong? How am I going to get it right? And if you have a teacher that up now, the person does not even understand how to work with computers, you have to look at, is this person the right person for me? So you have to help them to understand that this is the get age where everybody is not just going to focus on the manual way of doing things, but you have to look at what are the new knowledge we're actually bringing in through the ICT that can actually develop our organization. Why is COVID-19 bothering us? He said, we have looked at so many things as a leader that we make sure that's actually making it difficult for us to do the work within the organization. Look at these questions actually posed to us. Have you been thinking about how you are going to hold board meeting? Imagine organizations that are supposed to hold their annual board meeting between February and now. I'm very sure it's very difficult for them. Now they have to look at what can I do to bring these people together. So it's for them to now start thinking. An MD of a bank actually came up recently and was reading out so many things that they will do in the organization, that COVID-19 has actually opened their horizon to see most of the things they've not been doing right. So this is the right time for them to now focus on those things that can actually bring in, reduce costs within the organization and move them forward. So how do we address our important outcomes? How do you increase your bottom line? How do you increase your profit? This is the time for you to start thinking about it. Not that you just fold your hand and just be looking at, oh, COVID-19 is affecting everybody, so it must affect me. No, it must not affect you. It is just for you to actually look at, where am I going to explore in this period that will increase my bottom line? Okay. Then what are the strong and weak points in our customer system? How have you not been treating them? Okay. You will discover that most of the fundamental stores now are not coming up with ideas of actually delivering items to their customers at home, which they were not doing before now. So there are so many organizations that can actually leverage on this. You look at, where are my customers living? How can I make delivery easy for them? Do I still want them, if offices are not opened, do I still want them to start maneuvering their ways to my offices? Or I should be looking at how I can get things across to them at home. Gradually, hard copy books are fading out gradually. People are now reading online. So if you're an author for this period, you must not just be focusing on how you're going to print your book. You must be focusing on how you are going to make your book available online to your readers. They will pay and they will read it. So it is the time for us to actually think outside the box and not just focusing on the old ways we have been doing things. Then as the crisis change, what moves the needle for my company? We have been trying to have a comfort zone. Okay, and the comfort zone all of a sudden now changed. So your comfort zone is not more your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is what you are now growing over. So you must look at, how can I move myself from where I am presently to a comfortable place that can affect my organization positively? And do we have the same key progress indicators? No, we do not. So it is at that time for you to actually bring out your new progress indicators using the ICT that is available to you, using the online platforms that are available to you. Okay, I'm not a prophet of doom, but I'm very sure after this COVID-19, some schools will lose their students. If I have a child who is a student in a particular school, and for 6 weeks, the school did not come out with anything to actually teach the student at home, this is not the right time. I won't take the child back to that school. Then I'll be looking for where it's comfortable for my children to school. Okay, then is it the right time? Can you actually meet your company goals now? As I said earlier, sales have gone down. It is difficult for us to actually look at how we can actually increase our sales. How do we meet our goals? You need those people who are home now to meet your goals. Then how do you use them? How do you leverage on them being at home to increase your sales? These are things you must actually be focusing on in this period. Sorry, please. So what are the requirements to work through COVID-19? I said, this season is the reason for us to actually lead with empathy. Understand the feelings of your staff. Understand the feelings of your stakeholders. When I mean stakeholders, I'm not only referring to your staff, I'm referring to everybody your organization is directly or indirectly affecting. Okay, show empathy at this period as a leader. Okay, your empathy may just be, oh, pick your call in the morning, put a call across to them. Oh, My staff, oh, how are you? How are you feeling this morning? Is everything okay? How is your family? Are you keeping safe? Hope you are observing social distancing. No, social distancing is another thing we still have to talk about. I think we should not be focusing on social distancing now, but we're focusing on physical distancing. Because if we are looking at social distancing, we'll be having this program we are having now. So we should be focusing on physical distancing and not social distancing. We are still connected online through all these platforms. So you have to show empathy to them, call them, ask them out there. This is time for you to actually have to go informal in your relationship with your staff. Don't be too formal. Don't just say, oh, they're just my staff, or it's just pay and go. No, it's not pay and go. You must understand their feelings at this period. So we must see this crisis as a defining leadership moment for us. Okay, so how do we deliver the possible outcome to us stakeholders? Don't forget, your shareholders need income too. They want to make money. Okay, your staff want to make salary. Okay, your customers want to get your products. So it's seriously a defining moment for us. So how do we handle this? How do we satisfy all these people? And either we like it or not, government is still part of your stakeholders. And government at the end of the day will bring bills and tell you they want to get tax, they want to get VAT on the little items you sold so far. So you must look at how you can actually up your game, okay, to actually bring the best services to your stakeholders. Then you must, continuous learning is highly very important at this moment. Okay, if it is possible, we should organize online training programs for our staff. Let them key in, let them understand how to maneuver out of this COVID-19 season. It's a difficult time, no doubt about that. But every leader must come forth and actually be the succor that his employees actually want to see. So continuous learning is the best time for us to actually engage in it. Thank God, every resource is available at our palm. Okay, we have our phones, we have our tabs, we have our TVs, we have Android TVs, we have our laptops. This is the time for us to actually leverage on the usage of all these items. Make maximum use of these items. Go for training. There are so many online programs, okay, that you can actually get for almost free. For almost free. Even there are some free ones. Let them leverage on it. Let it help them at this period. If you are leaving them alone to actually organize this, they may not make maximum use of it. As the leader, you can organize it jointly and let them connect so that you can monitor their performance, their readiness to actually acquire new knowledge online. Then we must understand the perspective of and engage all stakeholders in decision making. Okay. You might not be the one that will just be dishing out information, dishing out decisions at this period. Call them in, ask them for their input, ask them for what they think. What do they think? What do you think can actually be got out of this problem, this COVID-19 problem? Okay, let them contribute, let them make decisions. No decision is, don't rubbish any decision at this particular time. And I said earlier, whatever any decision somebody or any suggestion somebody is making, don't rubbish it. Okay, if you can get 20% out of what somebody has contributed, is enough. Just bid on it and get 100% from it. So everybody is important in the decision-making process at this period. Then we must focus on the intersection of employees and company well-being. Okay, it's not just for us to be focusing on the organization alone. Oh, the organization must make money, but you must focus on the well-being of your staff. If we are saying these people are the best assets we can actually hold on to within the organization. So if you're not focusing on them, how do you want your best asset? Don't forget, those buildings, those equipment, those laptops, those tables in your office cannot operate themselves. You need your employees to come and do it. So you must look at their well-being for this period and balance it with the company's well-being. Okay, so make decisions and take actions that consider medium-term and long-term business objectives. Whatever decision we are making now is not just for this period alone. If you are just making decision for this period alone, what happens immediately after this COVID-19 issue? So we must focus on situations that can be of medium-term and long-term. This is an eye-opener for us that nothing lasts forever. Whatever you might have been enjoying up to December last year, I'm very sure it's not the same thing you are witnessing now. So you must look at a situation whereby now is the time for me to actually restructure my vision, restructure my terms, restructure my goals, and I'll be able to move forward from there. You must focus on those things that will not just give me what I want for today, okay, but can move me away from today and take me to where I want to be in the nearest future. Sorry, please. So I think we should please note this. You must tap into your emotional intelligence. Make sure your team come out of the pandemic stronger. Your emotional intelligence will actually play a prominent role in this season. Why do I say so? If you fold your hands and not looking at where you can make impact in the life of your employees, then you are missing it. Okay, connect with them emotionally. Okay, the emotion you are actually talking about is not the one that will just make you to just allow them, even if they are not doing anything, you just want to pay them salary. No, connect with them emotion so that they will not just focus on the fact that organization is abandoning them at this moment, but focus on the fact that I want to keep you, I want you to be alive so that the organization can actually move forward. We need to actually maintain every policy that the government has earmarked for us now so that we'll be able to come out of it stronger and resume back to work. Then extreme stress can affect the way we act at this period. Don't get yourself worked up. Don't get yourself stressed up as a leader. I know when money is not coming in, we don't fight it easy. Either at home front or at office front, things will be very difficult, especially when you cannot meet up with your basic needs. Okay, but you don't need to stretch yourself. Turn this period, this negativity to positivity around us. Okay, don't get yourself, when you stretch yourself too much, it's not just going to be on the money. Where the money comes, how do you want to enjoy the money when you already stretch yourself and you're already suffering from high blood pressure and all the other diseases? So just calm down and look at how you can get the benefit or the best out of this season. Then creating employees may suddenly seem frazzled. Okay, if you get yourself stressed up, those employees, those your A staff that you've been leaning on, you'll be focusing your attention on. If things are not working well and you are not transferring aggressions to them, they will leave you. So you must look at how you will connect with them at this period. Then teams formally consistent of meeting deadlines and of high quality may become less predictable at this season. So you are not just going to look at the results you'll be churning out up to like December must be the same thing you want everyone to bring out now. No, it's not possible. In as much as they are putting in the same maximum concentration on the work, they cannot give you better, they cannot give you the same result they gave you in December. Okay, because you have to pick up gradually. But when you keep them, when you encourage them, let them know that okay, whatever the result you give now, will actually have to lead us into the future, where we'll be able to enjoy further. Okay, and I said this is not time for the tough love approach. Don't love them too much. Okay, you must lead with compassion. And this is what we've been hammering on. Your emotions, everything. Just lead with compassion. Let them understand that whatever we are doing now is for the benefit of the organization. Now, let's look at the 5 leadership skills to better manage a crisis. Communication, communication, communication is very important. Don't let them be hearing information about the organization from grapevine, from rumors. Okay, you must be making information available to them at every beck and call. Okay, sorry to digress a little. I don't like going political when I'm actually presenting. At a point in time, most Nigerians were very apprehensive for the fact that the federal government was not addressing us about the situation of COVID-19. This is the same thing that happens in organizations when the management or the leadership is not addressing the student on the situation within the organization in the time of crisis. So it is time for you to actually open up and be giving them information that will make them to calm down and make them to do the best in the organization. Then adaptability is another thing that is very important. Nothing lasts forever, as I said earlier. This is a period for you to look at how you can adapt favorably to the conditions at the moment. It is not just for you as a leader. You must let them, your employees, be able to adapt to the present conditions. Salaries may not come as it used to be, but when you communicate to them why the salary is not coming in, then tell them that what you want to pay, they must adapt to it. Okay, because you have to adapt to. We saw what some governors did recently. The first thing they did was to slash the salaries of their political appointees. It sends a signal. So now they've reduced the salaries of political appointees. It is very difficult for most of the governors to actually pay the 30,000 minimum wage. So it will be difficult for you to now come out and say, oh, you are paying yourself huge salaries and you can't pay your 30,000 naira. No, because they already put their foot forward by reducing their own salaries. So everybody must adapt at this season, at this period of crisis. then you must control yourself. Have absolute self-control. Okay, this is not the time for you to want to furnish your office. You want to buy things that are not necessary. It's not the time for impulsive buying. Control yourself. Don't do excess things. Do things that will actually impact positively on the organization. And more importantly, this is time for you, as I said earlier, for you to actually focus on capacity building of your employees. Focus on it, develop it for this season. Don't spend money on unnecessary items. Okay, your relationship management must be top-notch at this period. Your relationship with your staff, relationship with your customers, relationship with your competitors, relationship with everybody must be top-notch at this period. Keep that very high. Okay, don't try to create enemy for yourself at this period. Okay, and last, this is the time for you to actually be very creative. As I said earlier, new ideas will be coming in. Before now, how many of us were using Zoom? As at the last count, which was last month, Zoom had already made almost $4 billion in this period of COVID-19 alone. 4 billion, yeah, I think I'm right. I think $4 billion. So this is the time for you to get creative. And now Google is trying to actually create the same thing, so that, as a matter of fact, I heard about it, I think it was last week or last week or weekend, that Google is trying to create a video call platform where people can make calls for free. So if they are starting it for free, I'm very sure within the short period of time, they'll put money on it. And that's another way for them to make money. So this is a period for you as a leader to be creative and encourage your workers to be creative too. Now that we have COVID-19, it cannot be said that we all must cross together. It is with us, we cannot run away from it. Well, the only thing we should be looking at now is, what can I do that will bring the best out for me at the end of the day? Then what's my company approach to learning? You can see the importance of learning, and that's why we are here today. The importance of learning cannot be underestimated. It is compulsory that you just focus on learning and continue to develop it. Then learn your organization affords the ability for managers to collect more insights. Okay, your organizational intelligence is very important at this period. Okay, show it. It's not just for you. Let your staff understand what organizational intelligence actually means. Let them understand it. Let them work with it, and let them sleep and wake up with it. Okay, because we must succeed at the end of the day. Okay, and COVID-19 has brought out so many transformations around us now. It's just for us to actually look at which one is applicable to my organization. What can I do to actually bring this to my organization? What can I do to actually make more money from this? These are things that are actually very important for us now. Okay, the leadership opportunity right now is making remote work more effective. This is work from home. There has been issues around work from home. They will say, oh, this is Nigeria, working from home cannot work. But is it not working now? It's just for us to understand how we are going to manage people when they are working from home. No doubt about it. There are some people that will be working from home that have children that will be difficult for them to actually concentrate. But we must give some leverage, we must give them some opportunities to actually have that. But we must let them work from home. And we must create a platform where we can actually monitor what they do. Okay? Then the underlying the opportunity is a specific approach to leadership. Every opportunity that we can lay our hands on now is something that can actually move us from where we think we are to where we want to be. Okay. So how do we manage these employees that are actually working from home? I think we should get, at least this, okay, let's just quickly look at it because of our time. Get 3 agreements. Okay. The 3 agreements is that what are the normal working hours that these people that are working from home, when are they supposed to log in? So if you have to log in at 7 o'clock, let 7 o'clock be 7 o'clock. There will be a platform that will be regulating it as a leader. You'll be checking everything. You want to monitor them, you want them to do the right thing. Okay, so let them log in at the right time. Specify that time they should log in. And logging in is not just for them to log in and just stay. Everybody that wants to log in must log in with the video. Log in with your video so that people will know that, okay, you have logged in. Not that you log in and some people will leave and they just want you to see them online. The video will not be on. No, that's not the right time for that. And as a leader, you must design it in such a way that I want you to work from home, but you must work from home with every sense of it. Okay, when do you start working from home, and what will the work close when you are home? Then how long will it take to get back to each other when we send messages, when we send mails? So if I get up from this system, if you send a mail to me, I may not see it on the next 3 hours. So you set a timeline that if you have to work at home, from home for this period, for every message sent to you, I'm giving you 10 minutes, 15 minutes for you to respond to it. Set that timeline for them. Then if I'm not going to be online, how am I going to notify my leader, my supervisor, or if I'm unable to come online? All these things must be specified and must be spelled out. Then establish a cadence of communication. Your weekly meetings must be what you can actually conduct online. You say we create a weekly action review with your recent report to be timely and what and on point. These are things you can actually do as a leader. Okay, every message you want to present in your meeting, send it to me first. Let me see it. Let me check it. So when I understand it, then when we are presenting, you just go ahead and present it. Okay, which is also another thing that will actually make them to actually do the job correctly. Then establish a video first culture. Okay, when they log in, let them log in with their video, so that you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to know that these people are actually working from home. Okay, so you must encourage people to participate in meetings from a professional and quiet location. Some people will just be driving around town, and when it's time for that meeting, they will just park their car, bring out their device, and start talking to you. That is not the right time to actually do that. So they must look for a situation whereby you must let them understand that professionalism must be our top notch. Okay, get a quiet place, even if it's your bedroom, stay in your bedroom that is comfortable for you and be doing the work there. Then encourage people to get dressed in the morning when they are coming in. Not that you wear boxers or you wear a sleeveless t-shirt and you come and appear on the radio. Those are things that we must actually look at. Then keep it personal at this period. That's why I said earlier that you must make it informal. Create that informal relationship with your people at this period. When you create that informal relationship with them, they will understand that, oh, this man is always thinking about us. But if you still want to make it personal at this period, it's definitely going to affect the results you want to get at the end of the day. And you must invest, no matter how little, in technology. They have their devices, no doubt about that. It's not every organization that can afford to buy laptops for their employees. But if it is just 1,000, 2,000 naira for them to buy recharge card and make their data and subscribe to their data, it's perfect. It shows that, oh, you are with them. Okay, I'm not just allowing you to just go and use your money to go and do that. I'm giving you this, just go and buy the recharge card or download your data so be able to work from home, which is another thing that's actually very compulsory. So consider personalities. Individualize your approach to leadership. Think about, who am I? What can I take? What is it that will not take? I should not allow people to actually take it. So take the time to truly understand what motivates and challenge your team members. Okay, as I said earlier, you must understand what motivates every individual, every generation. What motivates A may not motivate me. You may want to give me money for the recharge card, it may not motivate me. I may just need something else that will motivate me. Okay, so you must ask people, let them tell you what are those things that are actually the best for them at this season. I said failing smarter is the best thing we can actually do in this pandemic. What do I mean by failing smarter? There may be some things that may not work for us, but the fact that those things are not working for us doesn't mark the end of life. If I'm going to fail, I want to fail in such a way that I will learn from that failure. So whatever that is happening to you as a leader that is leading that team, every failure must be seen as a step to a greater future. Okay, so whatever failure that is staring at you in the face now, you must turn it into positivity that can actually move the organization forward. Then there should be something different because of this pandemic crisis. Have you identified it? There must be something that is unique for the organization. Now, gradually, everybody is now making nose mask. Why? It was there before, but nobody was making it. So there must be something that is different that you can actually see leverage on. Okay, if your product presently is not what can move the market, can you get something like a complementary item or a substitute item that can actually make the organization, can keep them afloat? Okay, I said, this is a period for us to actually look at all these things. Okay, and I said, embrace this failure. Okay, don't just put yourself down because you have failed. No, don't just put yourself because you have failed. You must be flexible at this season. Okay, don't just be rigid. This thing must be so. Don't be a boss, a full boss now, unquote. Don't be a full boss now. Be a leader that you want to be. And for you to be that leader, one thing is very compulsory, which is what? Leadership humility. How do we do that? Okay, this is what makes us to lead what? Effectively. Calm down, relax, make yourself accessible. Okay, put yourself in the shoes of everybody. Okay, understand their feelings, understand where the shoe is pinching them. Understand your organization very well. Let your staff understand your organization too. Let them understand those things that are not working presently within the organization. Understand those things that are working within the organization. Okay, are we going to slash salary now? No, that may not be the case. Are we going to sack people now? No, but it now depends on how you want to manage it. Even if it is here, you have to depend how you want to manage it, which is always very compulsory. Okay, humility should not just come from your own side alone. It must come from everybody that is connected with that organization. Okay, the employees, the managers, your customers, you must know. Okay, and if not because of humility, you will see some people that will walk into banking hall and they will tell you, wash your hand. They will tell you, where am I coming from? Why should I wash my hand? But now they welcome you with both arms. They go there to wash your hand and they use hand sanitizer. So we must focus on how we make everybody to be very, very highly humble this season. Okay, and I said failure is synonymous for experiential learning. It's true. For every failure now, there must be something you are learning from it as a leader. There must be something. So that thing you are learning from it, just focus on it and use it to turn the future of your organization around. Which leads us to that failing the right way. Failure will definitely come, yes, but it must be not something which will not jettison and just let it be. No. You must fail and look at how you can turn it around and give you positivity that will actually lead the organization forward. So what is the way forward in this COVID-19 pandemic season? It's an excellent time, no doubt about that, to scan your organization's strengths and weaknesses. And you must know what stands you out as an organization among your peers. Where is my competitor performing better than me? This is time for you to actually look at those areas and look at how you can benefit from those areas. Okay, you must continue to do what? To build capacities of your employees. Let them understand that this is time for you to develop your knowledge. Okay. In the time past, we were talking about hard work. When they were giving children's reports in school, they would say, oh, this child is a very hard work person. But do we see hard work students now? Indirectly, but they may not even write it. This is the season for knowledge work. So we must seek for knowledge. We must seek for knowledge. It is not just by strength, just by power. It is just by your head. You must look at how you can actually use your head to move the organization forward. That's what we must be focusing on now. Then look at your corporate culture. Is it something that can go with this season that will actually keep us afloat? Or is it something that we need to restructure? We need to redefine our culture. Okay. Definitely, if you want somebody to work from home, when he's resuming, he has to resume in his house, 7 o'clock. It's not about late coming. Yeah, you can see late online. You can see late online, and they would not allow you to actually log in. But you must look at how you can actually restructure your corporate culture at this season. Look at your strategy and get the best out of it. So are there roles that may cease, listen to this, to exist after COVID-19? Yes. I'm very sure most of the leaders, most of the managers, will already be thinking, why do I actually have tellers when people can actually go to the ATM and deposit their money? Why do I need tellers when people can actually go to the ATM and withdraw their money? Okay. But the fact that people can actually use ATM to deposit, use ATM to withdraw, doesn't mean everybody will have to leave. You will still need some people to man the ATMs Okay, so you must start looking inward and look at those departments, those works that may not be required because of the new ideas that you have gotten from this COVID-19 season. And look at how you can actually bring the new things into the organization. On the final thoughts, the leaders, we want to identify non-normal procedures for remote work. When I say non-normal, I said this earlier, that some people will be working from home. Either you like it or not, you may have to condone the fact that they have children. Children may actually interfere with some work this period, no matter how you control them. So you must be able to accept that as a leader. Not that you just want to be harsh with the person when it comes back to work. No, you were at home, you were working, and your child was standing beside you. Yeah, it will come. If you cannot control the child, definitely you want the child to actually interfere with the work. But let it be. There are some things you must condone at this period. Okay, and to get the best productivity from your staff, identify the unique reading in each of your employees essential. We do not have the same strength. We do not have the same capacity to work. You must identify where each and every of your employees can actually fit in at this period. Okay. There are some that are actually very good in coordinating people virtually. This is where they actually come. This is where you need them more. There are some people that actually, they'll be looking forward to, and just need to be working from home. This is the people you need now to do the work. So you must identify the strength of each and every one of them and fit them to where they can perform excellently. Even when the organization, the offices resume fully, then you'll be able to fit them in. Okay. So what may matter most in the long term is showing your understanding and how everybody is dealing with the crisis. How did you deal with your own? Are you the person that you just want to give in to the crisis? At the end of the day, to crash your organization? No. Don't just give in. Understand the condition of the situations of the moment, and you'll be able to move forward from there. Okay. Then, if as a leader, you should have a dream of the next level beyond COVID-19. Start thinking about it now. Don't just allow COVID-19. Some people are making money with COVID-19. Okay. I think it is Germany that started arresting people for inflating the prices of their goods. So you can imagine how many people have inflated the prices of their goods in Nigeria now, and they're making money. Okay, and such people, by the time everything normalizes and the prices comes down, it will be difficult for them to actually adjust to the system. So you must start looking at, okay, how do I sustain this organization beyond this COVID-19? Okay. Yes, and that's really very important. And be open and transparent with the challenges. Don't add anything. If the sales are going down, let your staff understand that the sales are going down, but what are we going to do to move it up? Let them come with ideas. Okay, and don't let them continue to hear information through grapevines. Nobody leverage on rumors. Okay, if the rumors they are passing across or based on organization can actually crash your organization, that is the importance of you coming out, telling them what is important for them to know about the organization. And I think you should engage them in problem solving. Don't make it your sole responsibility, okay, to make that decisions that will solve the problems. Let them be part of it. Okay, if they are part of it, it will be very easy for you to implement every solution you are bringing forward. Okay, you must be innovative and creative in this period. New ideas will come out. So many ideas. The internet is jammed now because everybody is on the internet. Those who were not actually making presentations online, are not doing lectures online, we're not conducting meetings online, are online and they are doing it. And these are things that if you had told them that we can actually have this meeting online, they will tell you, no, I wanted physical meeting, let's do it physically. But now, COVID-19 has conditioned us to start working in another form, different from what we are used to. Okay, so then inspire employees to get the best, even to take what? Salary cuts. It depends on how you present your message. Either we like it or not, it is compulsory. If you don't want to sack, you have to cut your salaries. Salaries will go down because sales are not coming in. Okay. But you must look for a way to actually communicate that information to them so that they will accept it and they will not be angry about it. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I hope I've communicated some ideas to you. Thank you very much. I'm very sure you have some questions that you want to ask, and then I will check the message, the chat link now. If we have some if I have some questions there that we need to attend to. Thank you very much. Mr. Zuka.
Okay, thank you very much.
How about it into your time?
I hope we had an interesting time with that slide, that presentation full of knowledge. We were supposed to present for 45 minutes, but we've spent almost 1 hour, and it looks like 15 minutes. Thank you very much. So we've learned, Niyi have spoken to us about the effective ways of leading, even in this period of pandemic. We have also learned about which kind of leader are you? This period of pandemic, are you motivating is your own complaint even more than that of the follower? So there are a lot of things that that Niyi has actually spoken about in this presentation today. And personally, I've also learned a lot from it. Although I'm not surprised because I know what he's made of. He has a lot of experience when it comes to leadership and administration and management. So now, if you have any contribution or question, at the beginning of the class, I said we can drop our questions in the chat box. But if you want to contribute or you want to ask your question, you can just raise up your hand. She will see a place where you can raise your hand, can unmute you. So this is the time. We have just 10 minutes for the contribution, the questions and answer. Okay. While we are waiting for someone that might want to contribute or ask a question, this is Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry Best Center, and this series of webinars come at least twice a week, and we are always ensuring that we are going to ensure that we circulate the recording to everyone so that you can encourage everyone to at ACCI Best Center. That way you can always be up to date on all our activities, our trainings, sessions, events, and also you can also follow us up when we. Our next webinar is coming up on Friday, which is this time around we are digressing a bit from. We've been talking a lot about leadership, about management. This time around we want to look at our books, which is our accounting, and how more essential it is even in this period of COVID-19. So we have our facilitator, Dr. Nuruddin Adekola. He's a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Accountant, ICANN. He's also a forensic, in fact, he's a doctor of forensic. He's a certified internal auditor. So he's going to take us through some basic principles in which we need to ensure we follow through with our books during and after this COVID-19 so that we can always be on track. So at this point, I'm going to say this time, thank you for your time. Thank you for the presentation. And to all our participants, I want to say thank you very much for joining us in. And we hope to see you on Friday and more. And we hope you follow us on our social media channels. And finally, as we all know, this is the coronavirus period. Let's keep staying safe. If it's not very important, if it's not essential, please stay home. And if you have to go out, wear your face mask, wash your hand with soap and water frequently, avoid touching your face, and ensure you use your hand sanitizers and ensure you keep social distancing. So thank you very much for joining us and for participating. Okay, we have a chat here. We have a message in the chat box. So thank you very much for participating and joining us. We hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.